going on, everybody? We'll give it a minute here. Just see if anybody's going getting the notification. I'm obviously not in jail. All right, hell. No trial today, folks. They didn't have any intentions of doing that trial today. They basically, when I pulled in, there wasn't any Boardman police cars in the parking lot or nothing. Wasn't nobody inside that would have been there for my trial, so I figured something was up. But after I filed, I think it was about 7 days ago, I filed for the discovery, and they never got back with me. And then I also asked for an extension, which I don't know why they didn't just go ahead and give me the discovery and the extension, because that's exactly what they had to do today. It's funny. They waited. The only person that ended up showing up was the officer dumbass, and he showed up with his Mark of the Beast mask splattered right on his face. He was the only one in the room with a mask on. Prosecutor wasn't. I didn't have it on. The lawyers that were in there didn't have it on. Just him. But I go in there. Hey, Cafe. I go in there and or they finally call me into the prosecutor's office, and it's a completely different prosecutor than I talked to during my during the pre-trial. This is a different guy. He starts telling me how I'm asking him. He asked me if I got my discovery, and I told him no. And I said I don't know what. I even asked him flat out. I said, "Are we not going by the Constitution anymore? Is it being taken down?" And he goes, "Oh no, it's still in place. It's still in place." And I said, "Well, it sure don't seem like it, because this place don't go by it by any way, shape, or form. I still hadn't got. I don't know anything about what you guys are going to use against me in that courtroom. You haven't given me any information." And they still really hadn't. They'd only given me two. They're going to have Officer Dumbass there from the Boardman Township Police Department. And then whatever this witness he claims that I tried to run him over with, I guess. But the prosecutor looked at me and he said, well, Giant Eagle gave you a cease and desist. That they told me not to come back in there. And I said, no, they didn't. Who told you that? And these guys, I talk loud, people. I always talk loud. Everybody has always bitched about that about me. And they keep telling me, calm down, calm down. They think I'm getting upset. And that's just how I talk. And I'm sure they see it. I know they've watched my videos. I mean, they talked about it. But he's kind of getting aggravated with me. And he was like, well, do you want to just do the trial today? And I said, no. I said, of course not. I said, there ain't nobody here. And all we got is him. He's a liar. And that's Officer Dumas in there. That he's the one that's done all this. And he doesn't say much, Officer Dumbass. But the prosecutor finally looks at me and says, well, all I can give you is what's in my file here. And I said, well, that's better than nothing. That's what I haven't gotten anything yet. And he's looking through it and he goes, well, I can't give you your background check. And I said, why? He goes, well, there ain't nothing on it anyway, but I can't give you your background check. And whatever. Bullshit. It's public record. But he gets up and he goes and makes copies of that stuff, and it's just me and Officer Dumbass and somebody else in that office. I think he was a lawyer. He might have been a deputy or something too. But Yeah, there was a deputy in there too. But I'm sitting there and I just look over at him and I said, Christian. And he stops and he goes, are you referring to me? And I said, absolutely. And he goes, you ain't nothing but a liar. That's what this officer dumbass says to me in this prosecutor's office. You ain't nothing but a liar. I said, buddy, I got videos to back what I'm saying. He goes, yeah, you make videos and you stick them online and then you lie. It's all a lie. Everything you say about it's all a lie. Well, I hate to tell him, but I got on my channel and I told you guys what happened in my arraignment. And I told you when I got the recording that I'd put it on there and prove to you that's what happened in my arraignment. Now, if I was going to lie, come on, I'm going to lie at times when I need to. Right. But I played you the recording. It's on my channel. You can hear what happened in court. And it's just like I told you guys. I'm not afraid of these people, man. They don't scare me. And I'm going to talk to them now I give the judge respect. I give people, that judge I'm going to give him respect. But I'm still going to ask questions. I'm still going to talk. I'm not scared to talk to them, But these prosecutors, they're used to you guys being scared to death of them. And them having total 100% control of everything. And they've proven to me they don't even have to do any investigations. They're nothing. They have investigated absolutely nothing. They are going off of the police report alone. And Officer Dumbass that wrote it. Now they're trying to tell me, because I have a residence in Ohio and I haven't changed my driver's license over to Ohio, I have residence in Indiana too. Why? I also carry my handgun license out of Indiana. I didn't want to move to Ohio. And I told that prosecutor that. Said if it wasn't for my granddaughter being so sickly, I wouldn't have moved or even be here right now. And this prosecutor basically tells me, well, you've had that residence over there for a while now, and you don't have an Ohio license, so you don't have it. You're driving without a license. Just because I didn't have it switched over to Ohio. That's what their logic is. Although they're not even talking about that stupid charge anymore because they know it's bullshit. And the two officers that arrested me, Nick Newland and Mike Manis, they aren't even going to be involved. And I said, well, why not? Those guys are the ones that told me that Officer Dumbass called them and told them they wanted him to write me tickets, or one of them to write me a ticket for driving without a license. And Nick Nolan told him, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm sitting there looking at his license, and it's a good license. I'm not going to write him the ticket. And they don't even want Nick Newland in the courtroom to prove that, because they don't want nobody in there that's going to prove it. So they start explaining to me, I'm asking, where are all these people? If this is the trial date, where are these people? We don't need them, is what the prosecutor told me. All we need is him, pointed at Officer Dumbass. I laughed. That's all they need, according to them. They didn't even know about my video of Andrew that has run the two stores here in town. And they don't even know nothing about it. I said, I've done told you guys he's one of the witnesses, and I've got a video on it, and they're it's just, and I finally, he finally asked me, do you want to do the trial and I go, no, I got to go through this stuff. And now I'm going to have to get people summoned into court because they're not going to do it. They're not interested in they're not interested in justice. They're not interested in the truth coming out. They're not interested in whether went out intentionally to breaking the law, they're not interested in none of that. It's what can they prove. That's all they're interested in. They don't care if they know it's a damn lie, but if they can somehow prove it in court, that's all they care about. That's all they care about. So he tells me go ahead and go in there and see the judge, talk to the judge about getting another continuance. So I went in there and that's right, Trina, that's right. That's all it is money. And see, it's pissing them off because I still haven't spent a dime. I spent $5 on this trial so far, and that was for that blank disc that I got. That was supposed to be my arraignment. I paid $5 for that. I haven't paid a lawyer nothing. I haven't paid nobody nothing. It ain't cost me a dime. It's at least costing them something. Every time a prosecutor's got to talk to me, that's costing them something. Every time I got to go in front of the judge, it's costing them something. Every time I have to file and they have to do some kind of new paperwork, that's costing them something, you know. It cost me $5 and a few trips. The courtroom's about 2 miles from my house, if that. Whatever fuel I burnt. They can't stand it that I don't have one of their bar members on my side so that they can work shit out behind my back. They cannot stand that. And that's what I was asking them about, you know, you guys, or the Borman Township now has told me I'm trespassed from the Giant Eagle. So how can I go in there to talk to anybody to get my witnesses summoned if you guys ain't going to summons them? How am I supposed to do all? You guys got these bases covered, buddy. You got these bases covered to make sure an innocent man gets found guilty. You got the bases covered. I got to give you that. It's just aggravating as hell. But I got to laugh because all the policies and procedures and all this stuff that I have researched, there's none of them being followed. And only because I've bitched about, I mean, they weren't even going to give me the damn, they weren't even going to give me, I'll read that in a minute, the damn discovery. They were just going to have the trial and hope I just would go through with it. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. Nobody cares about the right. They don't care about the truth. And this clown, Officer Dumbass, says I get on my channel and lie to all of you. Why am I lying to you? For the money I'm making off of it? Is that why I lie to you? I have no reason to lie to you. You don't gain nothing off of me. All I do is tell you what I know. I have no reason to lie. I don't know, folks. It's just, I tell you every time, and I read it, you read in the Bible, and it says, those who follow the way, follow Jesus, will be persecuted. And I'm telling you, man, they're going to go all the way. There's no stopping it. It's just bullshit. And the whole thing is, I mean, the worst I can get out of it, and they know I wasn't driving on a suspended license, but if they was able to get me on that, they have 6 months in jail that I could do for that, which they can't. There's no way for them to do it. But the other one only calls for, the judge told me, some kind of community service. It doesn't even have a jail sentence with it. So I don't know what's going on with this shit. It's a joke. And that's what I was asking the prosecutor. I said, you know what? Don't you guys have to do any investigation whatsoever? I said, you guys are acting like you said the Constitution's still in play. So that means I'm innocent until you prove me guilty. But all I see is I don't see you guys doing anything. You're not even investigating what the clown said to make sure he's not lying. And I've got to come in here and prove to you that what the clown said is a lie. That's not what the Constitution says, people. It's supposed to be innocent until they prove. And when you're in a criminal court, they got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Well, we think ain't good enough. That's another thing. You can look up in any black law dictionaries, and any criminal case always has a victim. And the victim cannot be the state, because if it was, you would be in a federal court, not a county court in Mahoney County. You'd be in a federal court, just like the guys that attacked the state building in Washington, D.C. They were not hit with misdemeanors. They were hit with damn felonies because the state was the victim. These people trying to tell me, and let's go on with it. In a criminal case, you got to have a victim. The state cannot be that victim, or you'd be in a federal court. And you also have the right to a jury trial in a criminal court. Not in Mahoney County, you don't. Hell, you don't get. That's why I say, if you go by the Constitution, they're not playing by the rules. So, but they claim the Constitution is still in play. It makes no sense. And that's what, they're trying to tell me that Giant Eagle gave me a cease and desist on coming onto their property because I refused to wear a mask. And if that's true, if they would have done that, then yes, I would have been criminally trespassing by going back on there. But people, come on. Before there was ever even any trouble, when the mask stuff just started and they were making everybody wear the mask and I wasn't wearing it, I got the video on my channel if you go back and check it out. One of the Boardman police officers was working there. The manager told me, or the cashier said she couldn't bring it up if I didn't have a mask on. So they called the manager over, and the manager brought the officer that was Boardman Township police officer that was working as security there that night. They brought him over, and I was asking them both, do you guys know about the mandate? And and the manager didn't know about the mandate having a medical exemption in it. So I looked at the officer, and he drives car 4. I don't know his name. But he saw me in and out of there a lot of times with no mask on and never no trouble. I can tell you that. But I looked at him and asked him about the medical exemption and the mandate. And he looked at me and said, I don't care about anything about that. If this woman wants you to leave the property, or if she wants you out of the building, you got to leave the building. I said, oh, okay, all right, that's fine, let's go. And you guys watch a video. I walk out with her. I'm trying to get her name of her supervisor so I know who to come back and talk to later. She refused to give me the guy's name or the person's name. And they walked me out front, and then the lady goes back in and gets what I want, and I gave her money to pay for it. She brought it back out to me, never telling me to leave the property and never to come back. And then the very next day, I go in there and talk to the district manager, Andrew, and I recorded that whole conversation. So, and he at the very, at the very end, he even said, because I had told him, I said, listen, man, if it's right about what you guys are saying, because he was telling me, he goes, look, we're trying to make it so you guys can still shop here. He goes, that's why we're doing the drive up. You can order it and then drive up, and we'll bring it out to your car. And I said, that's all fine and dandy. Okay. That's all fine and dandy. I said, but what you're telling me now is you're telling me I'm no longer to have I no longer have the right to live my life like everybody else. I no longer have the right to come in your store and shop like anybody else. I've got to call in because I can't wear this mask. And I gave him my medical records, people. I gave them to him. He had him in his hand. He saw them. And at the very end, he agreed. He said, no, because I said, you guys expect me to just be a lock-in in my house now. If I need something, make a phone call and they'll deliver it to the door. I'm not supposed to have any kind of a life outside of my house. That's not fair. It's not going to happen. And he agreed and said, you know what? You're right, man. And I've got it on video. He goes, you're right. He goes, I'm not going to stop you from coming in my store. I'll give you permission to be in here without a mask on. And he said, and if one of my cashiers or cashier people have a problem serving you because you don't have a mask on and it scares them, I'm going to have them I'm going to tell them to call me down and I will ring it up for you. And he goes, so by no means am I telling you you're not allowed to be in the store. And I left it at that. 7, 8 months later, old officer dumbass decides he's going to mask Watachi. That's his whole thing. He's been watching my videos all year, and he's going to mask Watachi. That's his ego right there. And he still never got a mask on me, not even in that courtroom. That's what this whole thing was about. Well, we've stretched it out. I think I'll have to look on the paper. It's in my car. But I'll let you guys know. It'll probably even get stretched out again because, hell, I'm going to have to go about doing whatever I can do to get these people summoned into court. Even the arresting officers. The prosecutors don't want the arresting officers in the courtroom on the day of my trial, so they told me, if you want them here, you summons them. However you're going to do that. They're out for justice, aren't they, folks? They're out for right. They'd rather turn 10 guilty guys away and let them walk free before they put one innocent person in jail or anything. That is the funniest thing I ever heard. They would lock up 10 innocent people before they'd ever let one guilty person walk for any damn thing. And they brag about it. Well, folks, I'm going to get off here. I told you I'd go live once I found out. I have a hard time reading these. All right, let me see if I can get them to come up here. Here we go. Let's see if anybody's asked any questions. Bear with me here, guys, and I'll try to read through here and see what you're saying. Generate revenue. Well, John Boy threatened them with lawsuits. I've done told them. I said, man, you guys keep pushing this. I've already talked to the FBI about the Article 18, U.S. Code 241, 242. It's still in effect. And that's what I keep telling them. This whole thing has been a conspiracy to violate my rights because I wouldn't put a mask on my face. That isn't even a law. That wasn't a law, folks. It was a mandate from a governor that has no authority to make you put anything on your face. They don't have the authority to do that. And the cops backing it is ridiculous. But let me see. Oh, and I've even, John Boy, I even threatened that cop with a civil lawsuit against him for what he has done. But they don't give a crap. They ain't scared of that shit. They got money somewhere, I guess. Matt Zabrowski, greetings from California. How you guys doing out there, Matt? God bless you. Tris Williams, definitions of words are so tricky. Dictionary is. So that's true. And that's one thing about that, Trish Williamson. Our English language, now, at the time that they came up with this language, there was already like 265 other languages on the earth. Why would you need another language? Well, see, that's the thing about the English language. They can make up and add words at any time. Doesn't matter. Slangs, whatever. They're all getting put in there. And the thing about it is they can change the definition to anything they want. 20 years ago, they used to call it, or no, not 20, 80. Back World War I, World War II, they called it shell shock. These guys over there fighting in these battles and stuff. And today they call it PTSD or whatever, post traumatic stress syndrome. It's like polio. They said, oh, well, we cured polio with a vaccine. It didn't go nowhere, folks. What do you think muscular dystrophy was? Same thing. It's still here. And that's the thing they do. They change definitions to words and don't tell you about it. And they're using it in one way. You're thinking they're using it in another. And it's not being used in the manner you think it is. And they call that legalese. And that's what the courts do. That's what the politicians do. That's what the lawyers do. That's what all these guys do. They use this legalese on everything. That's just like them saying income taxes. Well, income. Wouldn't income have to be money? Some kind of real currency? Not a promissory note. I mean, come on. If you're working for a guy and he owns 10 stores in town, and you say in a gas station and stuff, and you say, hey, I'm gonna give you an IOU, and you go over here to my stores. I got a grocery store and I got a gas station and I got a hardware store. You can go into any one of my stores and you can take my IOU and buy things with it. That's what we do in America, folks. We don't get paid with currency. We don't get paid with money, real money. It says right at the top of the money, it's a promissory note, Federal Reserve promissory note. They just change definitions. Then they'll say all individuals owe income tax. Then you start looking at the definition of individual, and the way it's being used in the law means corporations and corporations only. And then you start looking into it that these big corporations, their income is only after they've paid for all of their expenses to run their business and whatever they need to keep going. And then whatever over that is what they pay income taxes on. They don't pay, not like you, where you pay for every dime you made that year, you pay income taxes on it. They only pay for whatever profits is over and above their operating expenses and stuff, folks. And that's a fact. But you look at it, it says all individuals have to pay income taxes, when it really says all corporations have to pay income tax. But you see individual, you take it as, oh, well, that's me. I'm going to do it here. How much you want this time? Is that enough? No. Say when. Just start making it rain with them bills, you know. But that's the thing about the English language, man. They can change it up and they use it against you. They use it against you in court, just like these guys with this crap that's going on with my case. And I even looked at that. I said, this is the way you guys are going to do this, right? I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. But let me go back to these. I'll try to get everybody's in there. Trina got to head out. Have a peaceful day, everyone. Stay positive. You too, Trina. Oh, yeah, Trish, they've been trying to make an example out of me for quite some time now. For years. Matt, all right, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on it, man, and I appreciate all your prayers, no doubt. And you're right, John, they do think they're above the law. I don't doubt it, man. I'll tell you what, they give me PTSD too, John. Them damn cops. Yeah, big Ponzi scheme. That's a fact. That's what our whole money thing is, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I gotta go. We're gonna go have lunch with my wife. She's getting lunch, so I'm gonna go have lunch with her. And I just wanted to get this in before I went over there. So just remember, guys, only way out is through Jesus Christ. There's no other door. And make no mistake, God loves you, and so do I. Pray for y'all. Y'all need to pray for each other too. Be good, guys. Till next time.